with him, he can shotgun snap and step, and he's quick out of his stances. Anybody on the offensive line.
When he showed up on campus, I mean, did you see him and think like, okay, he's a tight end now? But I mean,
no, I was trying to see all the other guys. Honestly,
yeah.
He showed up and he's a tight end, and now what you see is explosiveness. Now, he'll take a guy on a freaking angle and finish him, 5 or 10 yards, from the line of scrimmage. So you saw the explosiveness, and then I can honestly, tell you that it was Coach Frost doing, with the initial, hey, this guy can be the, second coming of Dave Remington, So that's that's a big name to throw out. But and when he threw it out, I was like, come on, Coach, that's Dave Remington now.
Right.
And then so. We've been, working with him, and he's done a great job with it.
So he actually invoked the name Remington when talking about Jurgens?
Oh, he was like, man, he's explosive, he's quick, he's powerful, he's gritty, he's nasty. All the things that you would probably describe David Remington in his day.
Have you seen Tanner Former make strides in the snapping department? Does he see?
Yeah, I have. He's getting better at it. He's, whereas Cam is probably a natural guy at snapping. Tanner has to be more mechanical with his, and his technique, and it's really making sure that when he gets fatigued, that the ball still is hitting the strike zone. So, but he's doing better at it, and no snap errors today, and I'm on his ass about it now, and I'm on the quarterback's ass if the freaking ball is not where we want it to be. You better let him know, because we just don't need. We don't need to be thrown off from a read, or our eyes to be on the ground when we're supposed to be looking at our routes or looking at the protection or making a protection call or making any adjustments within the play off of something like a snap error. It's a very, in some cases, minor detail, but it's a major detail in terms of whether the play works or not.
When you were here, or maybe even coached somewhere, but I was thinking when you played here, do you remember a player making a huge, significant change like a Cam to come from nowhere to be a really good offensive lineman? Can you think of anybody that's done that before? That's going to put you on the spot, I know. But.
Chris Patrick did a good job with it. That's the one name that sticks out to me. I played next to Chris Patrick. He came in as a defensive tackle, defensive end, right? And he made the transition and did a pretty damn good job with it. Played a couple years in the NFL, at the tackle position. I'm trying to think who else came in. Seppo came in as a defensive lineman, ended up playing offensive line. Patrick Kabongo ended up playing like in Canada and leagues, as an offensive lineman. But no, not to the caliber I think that Cam could be in terms of his future. I'm just glad that we got him early, so now we can kind of train him rather than in the middle of his career making the transition.
I'm assuming he's pretty receptive to this change too.
Yeah, he was initially. It was like, okay, it was just more of an acceptance, like, okay, this is my new life, and then now he's done a really good job with being in the meetings and being attentive and being alert, because that's the biggest thing in our offense. The center has the first call. He has to make the initial call, the front declaration, what we call the point, so he has to. There's a cerebral side to it as well, and with him having a tight end background and him being knowing the full gamut of the offense, then he has a good feel for his responsibility inside as well. So that always helps. Certain guys, when you start out as a center, now you're just learning that position, where he has more of a higher level view of how everything works, which is good for him.
When did it happen? When did he make the change?
He's in the middle of it right now. It's not. We've gone more with it now. But last week he was, kind of double dipping, so to speak. He still had tight end responsibilities, but in practice he would do a good job over there on the look squad and in some reps in our second team of center reps.
How's Bo Wilson kind of looked to your eye the last couple of weeks with him seeing more time?
He's looking good. Bo's a talented kid. You know, he gets better. He gets better game by game. You know, I think he's a really good player, and he's done a really good job for us. He's been a spark. Let's say it like that.
What's the center situation now this week?
Right now, we're still rolling with Tanner, and then we'll see, kind of how the week progresses in terms of. Really, today was our last work day, so to speak. But Cole's still continuing to recover from his injuries.
Okay.
What do you do as a coach when the penalties keep cropping up? I mean, other than telling guys, don't do this, or how do you coach that?
You coach the issue. I don't attack the result. I attack the issue. Like, what is the issue? Penalties keep coming up, and now, as I get into the meeting room, I'm like, hey, this is why. I attack the why. As a coach, you can sit up there and yell at the guys for the result, or you can say, hey, move your feet, don't grab, keep your feet active, get your body in a position to where you're not called for holding. Or take the right set line, don't overset a kid and allow the kid to come inside of you and now you grab him. So those are the things that, we coach on the sideline. Those are the things that we coached even after the game. And you just continue to coach through those situations, You can get mad all you want to. Now, I will get a little bit emotional, right, so to speak, when bonehead penalties come up, like offsides and things like MAs, those things, like not being dialed in. Now, that's when I get a little bit, pissed off. But generally speaking, when it's in the middle of the play penalty, then we have to continue to coach the technique, coach the set lines, and then go back and look at how we coach it, and see if there's a new way of doing it that prevents us from being in those situations.
What have you noticed about your group in the second halves of games that have maybe been different from the start?
Not really necessarily my group. It's just mainly the offense. We have to do a better job of clicking early, and that's just the general. And it starts with us, absolutely. But the whole group, man to man, we have to find a way to get it done earlier. I think, in just my opinion, our defense did, nice job. First couple drives, they got some yardage and et cetera. But if we came out the gate early on in the game, as we did in the second half, then that game looks a little bit different. So we got to find a way, to click early, start fast, and then finish strong. We've been finishing strong, but we haven't started as fast as we need to, just generally speaking. And it starts again with my guys, and then it goes, and it spreads out from there.